All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer.
You already know the vibes. You already know the vibes. We back with another one. Listen, Little Durk, 12-page motion by the prosecution. The government's 12-page motion. Some people are saying this could be a drastic situation for Durk. All right. We also got the response by the defense to them wanting to impanel an anonymous jury. We understand that they've been trying to do that. They want to impanel anonymous jury because they're saying that either the jury or the witnesses' lives are going to be in danger. Okay. They went as far to correlate or compare Durk and OTF to the Mexican mafia. Okay.
Oh, no, you can't be serious. That's some bullshit right there.
That's just my own thought. That's just my own thought. That's crazy. Mexican mafias? That's crazy. But listen, though, we on go right now. We're going to get into this read. Shout out to everybody that's on any of the other platforms that I stream to. Make sure y'all all subscribing to Uda On Go, OOTAONGO, and y'all get it on go. Y'all hit the poll in any of the chats and let us see exactly what the government's saying and what they're claiming. And, you know what I mean? They're saying that he did multiple hits and they're going into a lot of stuff, Devon Bennett and all this other stuff. So let's exactly see what the hell's going on because it's crazy. All right. So we ain't gonna waste too much time. All right, cool. Let me just make sure I can see the screen. Salute to everybody. Y'all just make sure y'all drop likes. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking about the Durk situation. Do y'all think it's lights out for Durk? Do y'all think that Durk could get about this situation? What do y'all think? What do y'all feel? You know what I mean? Boom. All right. The government's opposition to the defendant bank's motion to suppress evidence and request for a Franks v. Delaware hearing. Okay. If you don't know what Frank's hearing is, a Frank's hearing is a hearing that you have that you want to throw out the evidence that's being used against you. It could be wiretaps. It could be multiple evidence, surveillances, the things that the feds use against you. All right. They get Title III warrants and affidavits. And then with these things, they get to surveillance. You go through your trash, go through your garbage, do all of the things that feds like to do. Okay. So all of the evidence that's gained against you, you can have a Frank's hearing and they can suppress some of the evidence that's used against you. But the government is trying to deny him even having this Frank's hearing. You want a Frank's hearing to suppress some of the things that's against you, bro. You want it. All right, cool. Let's get to this. Boom. All right, they show you the hearing date. Boom, 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 boom. Show you everything right there. Okay. Plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of record, the acting United States Attorney for the Council District of California and Assistant United States Attorney, they go into the names of them, files its opposition to the defendant's bank's motion to suppress evidence and request for a Franks v. Delaware hearing. This opposition is based upon the attached memorandum of points and authorities, the files and records in this case, and such further evidence and argument as the court may permit. They go into it. It was respectfully submitted by. They go into all of that. Right, showing y'all, scroll by that slow for you. Okay, cool. Let's go into the memoranda of points and authorities. Defendant banks moves to suppress evidence seized from two accounts pursuant to federal search warrants. One, the X account at Lil Durk, the bank's X account, and two, the Durkio at iCloud.com, the iCloud account, the bank's iCloud account. This is what they're calling into question. As in prior filings, defendant's motions focuses on rap lyrics contained in Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. Defendant does not dispute that he rapped those lyrics or that his lyrics are about green lighting a M of a rival. Instead, defendant asserts that lyrics were written 7 months before SR's unaliving, and thus the government's mere inclusion of the lyrics in a search warrant affidavit amounts to a material falsity requiring a Frank's hearing. This argument is meritless for several reasons. Crazy. It says several reasons. Crazy. First, the defendant has filed No, sorry. First, the defendant has failed to identify any false statement or information actually contained in the affidavit. Apparently, recognizing this, the defendant's attempt to manufacture a misrepresentation by citing to an allegation about the lyrics contained in a prior non-operative iteration of the indictment, and then ask the court to interpose falsity within the affidavit where there is none. But other than the defendant's claim, the warrants contain demonstrably false statements or omissions. The motion is devoid of evidence or facts that show the following. Let's see the subtitle, what they're trying to say in one. Where's point one? Let's see where point one was. They usually put it up there. Let me see if they put it in the lyrics. Okay, point one was here. Okay. Point one was here. So we're going to see what the subtext say about the iClouds and all that. As defendant notes in his motion, the affidavits filed in the support of the warrants are substantially similar, and thus the government will generally refer to the affidavits as the affidavit in this filing. For Exhibit A, defendant filed a version of the affidavit that contains a redacted footnote. That footnote, however, is substantially similar to the footnote in 3 in Exhibit B. Okay, cool. All right. Factual allegations is anything but true. In December 2022, Banks was featured on a song called Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. In the song, Banks rapped that it's effed up that I'd rather get revenge instead of getting millions. Told me they got an addy. Go, go, got a location. Go, go, green light. Go, 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 go. Look on the news and see your son. You screaming, no, no. P. Notably following SR's unaliving on August 19, 2022, a bystander video captured TB, Quando Rondo, screaming no, no when he saw SR's body pulled from the Escalade. Now, the affidavit noting that this allegation is false or misleading. Indeed, the defendant does not dispute that he was featured in the song or that it was released 4 months after SR's unaliving. Defendant does not dispute that his song explicitly referenced seeking revenge over profits and greenlighting violence after learning the location of arrival. And the defendant does not dispute the lyrics are similar to a publicized video of the defendant's rival, TB, screaming no, no, while watching the sheriff deputies remove SR's body from a vehicle on the day that he was unalive. Nor can he simply put these factual allegations are true, not false, as the defendant claims. The defendant's omissions theory similarly lacks merit, citing to an affidavit from a sound engineer that the defendant Banks filed earlier in this case. The defendant asserts that the affidavit recklessly or intentionally failed to state the defendant's wrote his lyrics before the SR's unaliving. But even assuming this is true, the government could not have purposefully or recklessly omitted a fact it did not know. And even if this standard was met, it isn't. The defendant's argument also fails because it hinges on the premise that his lyrics are only relevant to the probable cause determination if he wrote them after SR's unaliving, but not so. The defendant's lyrics, i.e. admissions, they call his lyrics admissions. That's crazy. That's crazy to call your lyrics to admissions. About ordering a hit and seeking revenge show the defendant's modus operandi and corroborate it corroborates CW1's, this is a witness, somebody's talking, account that the defendant ordered and financed the Los Angeles unaliving as set forth in the affidavit. Who the hell could have said that? Nah. Did they get somebody saying that, personally saying that, or do they got somebody saying that in the messages? Because we know that they have conversations of people, yo, bro, people's fools, bro. They was having conversations, man, sad, bro, talking about it like, yo, son, what's up with Durk? He gonna send that money and all of that? Like, yo, bro, if this is true, I don't know, but I'm just saying, why is any of these conversations happening online? Because these are the things that the government is using and citing in that case, bro. You see what I'm saying? It's just some circumstantial stuff. He said, yo, don't put nothing in my name or something like that. That's what Durk said, you know. That's it. But we got other people messaging each other, whether they part of OTF or whether they close to them. They like, yo, what's up? He sent the bread. Yo, when that bread dropping, da, 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 when it's landing, yo, it's going to land, chill. You know what I'm saying? It got things like that, which is kind of like tying them in because it's OTF, but it's really not him. It's not like you got a person say, yo, it's Durk did it. He did it. But they're saying